So welcome back to my channel, Creative Hands by She. So in today's tutorial, I will be showing you how to make a turtleneck hoodie. So if you're new here, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. I hope that you will love this tutorial and you'll be able to make one of your own and you will join this community. So I will be listing in the description box more information about this tutorial, so make sure you check that out so you can get all your materials ready. So you will need two different size hook to make this turtleneck hoodie. You will need a size 5 and a size 6 millimeter crochet hook. You will need darning needle. You will need your scissors and your yarn, of course. And this is the yarn that I will be using. This one is the Pound of Love, and it is by Lion brand, and it is 100% acrylic, and it's a size 4 medium weight yarn. The amount that is on the skein is 1020 yards, and it's machine washable and dryable, which is a plus. That is super nice that it is. So let me see here, and this color is Antique white. So you can use any color of your choice. It doesn't really matter what color you're using, whatever suits you best. So guys, let's jump in the video. So guys, to begin, I am starting off with my 5.0 millimeter crochet hook, and I will be making the adult size. So from small to large adult size, you will chain 31. I will be listing other sizes on the screen so you can follow along for the size of your choice. So I am going to go ahead, make a slip knot. You can make your slip knot however comfortable you feel. This is just the way how I make mine. And once you have make your slip knot, make sure that your hook is sliding through. Now you're going to go ahead and you're going to chain 31 as I mentioned before. So if you're making a toddler size, you will chain 21. If you're making a child size, you will chain 26. If you're making the size that I am making, which is the small to large adult, you chain 31. Adult extra large to 3XL, you will chain 34. So I'm going to continue chaining and I'll meet back with you. So now that I have my 31 chains, this is what it looks like. Now you're going to make single crochet. So you're going to skip this chain that is on the hook and you're going to go immediately into the second chain, and you're going to insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through. Insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through. And that's how you make your single crochet. You're going to continue doing this all the way until you get to the end, and I will meet you there. So this is our foundation of single crochet that we're starting off with. So I'll see you at the end. So guys, and now I have come to my last stitch, and you should have a total of 30 stitches here. So now you're going to chain 1, turn your work, and we will be working into the back loops. So the loops that are on this side here are considered your back, and the ones in the front here are considered your front loop. So you are going to insert your hook into the back loop, pull up, yarn over, and make your single crochet. And going forward, this is what you will do. You will only work into the back loop of each row, making your single crochet until you get to your desired width. So I am going to go ahead and continue to continue to make my single crochet until I get to the end, and I'll meet you there. So guys, and now I have come to the end of my last stitch, and if you want to use a stitch marker to mark your first stitch, you can go ahead and do so you don't lose your stitch. So you can mark this stitch, because if you notice, it is not so visible as these ones. It is like kind of hiding in the back, so you can use a stitch marker to mark that stitch there. But if you are a more experienced crocheter, well, you don't have to, because you will know. So now I am going to go into my third row, and I am just going to repeat the same thing. So I'll put on the screen how many rows you should go for each sizes. So for the size that I am making, I am going to continue doing this until my ribbon reached to 20 inches in width. So as I stated, I will put it on the screen for the sizes so you can follow along. So I will continue doing this until I get to the end of my rows, and I'll meet you there. So guys, now I have come to the end of making the ribbon part, and this is measured 20 inches in the length. So I'm just doing a measurement so you could see. So there it is, 20 inches. So now what we're gonna do is we are going to fold this into two, and you're just gonna look for the part that looks like the wrong side, and which is here. So you could see where we had done our slip stitch. You should see this bump here, so you will know that this is the wrong side. So we are going to slip stitch all the way up so you're going to insert your hook. So insert your hook here and pull through. And then you are going to chain one, go back into that same stitch where you have your hook attached to, and then you're going to go into the stitch on the other side and make a slip stitch. And you're going to continue doing that and do your slip stitches into the back loop. So you're slip stitching in the back loop on this side and into the loop on the other side here. So you're going to continue doing that all the way up to the top, and I'll meet you there. So guys, now I have come to the end and I'm just making my last slip stitch there, and this is what it looks like on the wrong side. And what we're going to do is we are going to flip our work over. So let me just flip it from this side. And you can see where we join. So it's right here. So each of these ridges that you're seeing here, so like this little, like a plait kind of thing on the top, so these are considered 2 rows. So you can count your rows to see how much you have, and once you have done so, you can go ahead and start putting, you're gonna put 1 half double crochet into each and every row. So this row that we just did our slip stitch, you're gonna go into that row and just yarn over, and you're gonna make a half double crochet into the next row, which is right here. You're gonna make a half double crochet into the next row. You're gonna make a half double crochet. So you're gonna repeat this all the way until you get back to here, and I will meet you there. So again, in every single row you're gonna place 1 half double crochet. So I will see you at the end. So guys, now I have come to the end of making my rows, and what I am going to do, I'm just going to fasten off here. So I am going to use my scissors. You can either just slip stitch in there, or my all-time favorite, what I love to do is just to give it a nice clean finish, which at this point it doesn't really matter. You can just do it like this, going to the back loop on the other side and downward, and just give it a nice clean finish off there. So what I did, I use a stitch marker just to mark where I have my my join in here. I don't want this to be the front, I want this to be the back. So I'm not gonna work here to have the opening of the hood. So I am going to start it at the front. So I kind of eyeball it to put the stitch marker there, but I don't think it's right. So I'm going to remove it from there and just kind of even up my work. So wherever I am seeing this is marking, or what you can also do is you can also count your rows to see how much you have. I have 92 stitches here, so you don't have to do what I am doing. You can just count it just to make sure that it is accurate on each side, so you don't have one side looking bigger and one side looking smaller. So you can just go ahead and weave in this tail end wherever. I'm just going to pull it through for now. I'll do that later on. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn it around just to kind of eyeball it to see. And I'm going to use my stitch marker just to count. Sorry, my measuring tape, I should say. So I have from here to here, it's technically 5.5 inches. And let me just do it on the other side. Yeah. So I'm getting 5.5. So I am going to insert my yarn here. So I am attaching my yarn and I'm just going to chain 1, give it a tie, and into the next stitch I am going to just start my first double crochet there, but we're going to work into the back loop. Make sure that you change your hook to a 6.5mm crochet hook. So now you are going to yarn over, go into the back loop. So it's here. So you're going to go into that back loop there. And to make a double crochet, you're going to go back into that back loop and you're going to make another double crochet. So you will be increasing into the beginning of the row and the end of the row. So I am going to continue doing this all the way around until I get back to here, and then I'll meet you there. So guys, now I have come back to the end of my row and I have my last stitch remaining, and I'm just going to place 2 double crochet there. So this is how you will finish your row and start your row. So you start your row with 2 double crochets and you end your row with 2 double crochet. So now what you're going to do is you are going to chain up 1 and 2, and this chain 2 is going to count as your first double crochet. You're going to turn your work, and into that stitch that is attached to that chain 2, you are going to yarn over and you're going to place a 1 double crochet there, and that is going to be our increase. You're going to get your stitch marker and you're going to mark the top of that chain 2 that we did. As I stated, that is going to be your first double crochet there. So you can see it's laying flat like a stitch. So now you are just going to go ahead and place 1 double crochet into each and every stitch around until you get back to the other side. You will place 2 double crochet there, and you're going to continue doing this for a total of 16 rows of increase. I'll put on the screen for all the sizes, so make sure that you're doing the same exact thing that what I am doing for this size that I am making. You will repeat the same thing for all the other sizes as well, but you will follow the amount of rows that you need to put in. So I am going to continue doing this all the way around until I get back to here, and then I'll meet you there and I'll show you how to start it again. So guys, now we are back to where we started here. So now we have 1 stitch and it is hiding into the back here. So we are going to go into that stitch and we're going to place our 2 double crochets there. Make sure you don't lose your stitch. You can use your stitch marker to mark your stitch. So there it is. So I have 2 stitches there. Now I'm going to chain up 2, just as we did before. Turn our work. And you can get another stitch marker to mark the top of this chain 2, because remember that counts as our first double crochet. You're going to go into the back loop on the other side. So back loop here, and place your double crochet. And continue making double crochet into the back loop until you get back to the other side here, and you will just basically repeat the same thing. So I just wanted to show you how to start it off again. So I'm just going to continue doing this until I reach the 16 rows, and then I'll meet back with you. So I'll see you at the end. So guys, and now I have come to the end of making my 16th row, and this is what our hood looks like so far. So this is the top of the hood, where it's gonna fold over on the face part like this, and this is the turtleneck part here. So we are going to work 14 more rows. So we did 16 rows of increase, and now we're gonna do 14 rows of non-increase. So you will just place 1 double crochet into each and every stitch. So you're gonna chain 2 as usual, and this chain 2 is not gonna count as a stitch. It's just gonna be our turning chain. And now you are going to go into that stitch where you have the chain 2. You're just going to place 1 double crochet there. And then continue placing your double crochet into the back loop only all the way around. Once you get to the next end here, you will place your last stitch into this double crochet here. So I'll meet you back when I'm here. So guys, now I have come to the end, and our last stitch is gonna be in the chain 2, which was our first double crochet from the previous round. So remember, we were placing 2 double crochet in that stitch. So now, as I stated before, this is a non-increase row, so we're just placing a 1 double crochet, and this is going to be our last double crochet. Now you're going to chain up 2, turn your work, and then place a double crochet there. So going forward, this chain 2 here, as I did mention it before, just reminding you, going forward, this is not a stitch. So your first stitch is right here. That first double crochet that you did here, this is the stitch right here. So you can use a stitch marker to mark that stitch on this side, and you can also use a stitch marker to mark that stitch on this side. So this is the chain 2. That is our turning chain, and this is our last stitch. So you're not going into the chain 2. You're only doing the chain 2 just to turn your work. So you're going to continue doing this, and I will put on the screen for how many more rows you need for the other sizes if you're making different size from the one that I am making now. So use your stitch marker to mark your last stitch, which is this right here. So continue doing that, and you will notice that your work starts to look more straight going upward. So I'm going to continue doing this until I get to the end of my 14th row, and I will meet back with you. So our hood is almost finished. Remember, you're working into the back loops only. So I'll see you there. So guys, now I have come to my last stitch here of the hood, and that completes. And I'm just pull up on my tail end, and I'm going to show you how long it is. So you can see where we did our increase here, you can see that it is slant, and where we did just the regular rows, you can see that it is more straight upward. So from here to where we did our first double crochet, it is measuring 16 inches. I did the measurement already. I can show you. So from here to here, it is measuring 16, and you have the turtleneck part here. I can also do the measurement so you can see. So that is measuring 8 inches in length. So you probably have a little bit more or a little bit less in inches, depending on how you crochet. It might not be the same exact measurement as what I have. So now what you're going to do is you are going to sew the top of the hood. So to do so, we want to sew it on the wrong side. So we're going to open the hood just like this. So open it out, and then you are going to flip it over to the back. So it's going to look like this. So you're going to see this part in. So it's going to look weird just like that once you flip it over. And then what you're going to do is you are going to insert your hook into that first stitch and pull through. It is so windy outside, guys. So now that you have done so, you're going to chain 1, and you are going to work into the back loop, and the front loop on this side. And do a slip stitch. So front loop, sorry, back loop and front loop. And you're just going to continue doing this all the way until you get to the end and do a slip stitch. So I will see you there at the end. So guys, now I have come to the end of making my stitches, and I'm just going to go through the back last loop there and just pull through and slip stitch and then chain 1 and fasten off. So now we have come to the end of sewing the hood up, and now we're going to flip it over so you can see that is where we did our joining. I'm not sure if you can see it so well, but it is looking nice and flat. So you can see the hood there. So there it is. So you can wear it as is, as what it is now. So you're just gonna fold it over like this. Or what you can do is you can do single crochet on the edges. So I am gonna go ahead and do so. So guys, we are starting our single crochet row on the right side of the hood. So on this side here, this is the left, this is the right. So I am using a 5.0, even though you've seen me using a different color hook, it's the same size. I have more than one size 5 hook, so that's the reason why you're seeing me using a different color. I'm not sure where I put the one that I was using before. So what we're going to do is we're going to insert our hook into this part here where you have that hole, and we're going to attach our yarn. And we want to do the single crochet on this side, so when you flip your work over, the single crochet is more on the right side of the cardigan. This is not going to show here because you're going to flip it over, so you want to see it tapering off on the right side. So now that I have joined my yarn, I'm just going to chain 1, and I'm going to go into that little space that you're seeing there, right there. And you can either do single crochet or half double crochet, doesn't really matter. I'm just going to do some single crochets, and I place my first one there, and into this double crochet that is laying flat, I'm just going to go into the double crochet and place one single crochet. I'm going to go on top of that double crochet and place another one. So where you have your double crochets, you will place two single crochets. You can always place it on top and in the middle, but try to get it like right close to the edge and not around the stitch, because you don't want to make a hole in the stitch. So I am going to continue doing this all the way around until I get back to this side, and I will meet you there. So guys, I am back to where we started off here, and I'm just placing my last single crochet there, and I'm going to fasten off and weave this tail end in. So if you have any tail end left on your hood, you can go ahead and weave that in, and I'm just gonna close off this part here just like this by going into both loops there and a back loop on the other side, and give it a nice clean finish there, so you can see. So I am going to go ahead and weave this tail end in, and then I'll meet back with you, and any other tail ends that I have to weave in, I'm going to go ahead and do so. So I'll see you when I'm through. So guys, this is the end look of the hood. This is the turtleneck here and the opening of the hood. So you can see it folds over nicely. And that's the back of the hood there. And you can either fold this part upward, just like this, inside. So I will shape it and show you what it looks like on a picture, because this is not showing it so well. This can fold over like this on the inside, so it looks extra cute. You can see it there. So guys, I hope that you were able to make one of these turtleneck hood on your on your own, and the instruction was straightforward and easy to follow. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial, and until next time, bye.